When you see these colors, what do they mean to you? Don't think, just say it. If you answered Jirai Kei, congrats! You're in the right place because I'm Jirai Kei. Well, technically subculture or sabukaru jirai, but hey, it's under the same umbrella, so potato potato, you know. I know. Me, I don't look that Jirai Kei, but trust me, I am. So I'm gonna tell you what it's like wearing Jirai Kei outside of Japan. I've been actively trying to build a sabukaru wardrobe for about 2 years now, but my interest in Jirai Kei started at about 2020, but I just didn't know how to get my hands on it. Prior to my Jiraiification, I've worn some form of alt fashion for basically the entire time I've been able to pick my own clothes, with most of my time being spent as a yami kawaii / menhera inspired e-girl back in high school. I wouldn't say I'm an authority on Jirai Kei movement in any sort of way, but I'm a member of the community, so I got some things to say. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I like visual kei, and I'd say the overseas Jirai Kei community compares to that of the visual kei one, but I'd say Jirai Kei is decidedly more popular. Even so, in my country, I've only seen a handful of Jirai Kei wearers in my life, and they were all at the Toronto Baby Metal concert. So the real-life shared experiences of the Jirai Kei wearers is still somewhat shrouded in mystery to me. So no more messing around, let's get into it. Here in Canada, the general look most people opt for is the Aritzia or Lululemon look. They kinda got that Hailey Bieber thing going on, or like they'll wear a simple white or black crop top with denim shorts or jeans. And that's about what's popular right now. Athleisure, you usually see that as well, lots of leggings, lots of sports bras, you know, just keeping it comfy, keeping it fresh. So me, wearing my refu remu and my yosukeis really stands out, and I'm glad to report that the people like it. Now, in my experience, Ontario isn't the kind of place where like crazy Karens will come and scream at you if you deviate even slightly from the norm, but rather, people will only come up to you if they want to say something nice. And it's not just people my age either. I've had plenty of moms and aunties come up to me and give me compliments, so it's pretty fun, I guess. However, I will say that people be staring at me a lot. Whether they're good or bad stares, I don't know, but they be looking. But let's get into the shared experiences that Jirai Kei wearers have. Let's start with the obvious. Buying clothes is a massive pain. Can you guess how many stores sell Jirai Kei clothes in Canada? That's right. 1, and they're all the way in freaking Vancouver. I DM with the owner a bit to find out if they could ship to Ontario, and luckily they can, so I've just been watching their Instagram to see if my favorite pieces come in so I can snatch them on out of there. If I end up ordering, I'll report back. And in Toronto, there's Doll Funeral, which they focus on Lolita fashion. I've been there before. It's a wonderful store, and I can get some pretty cool accessories there. But yeah, there's no dedicated Jirai Kei store in my province, so what do? I import everything or travel to Japan. Those are my options. And as you can imagine, with shipping and customs fees, it really adds up after a while. A lot of the time you have to use shipping proxies, so you're both paying for the domestic shipping to get your item to the warehouse, and then pay for shipping again to get it to your country, and on top of that you gotta pay the customs. Ridiculous. Also, I have to admit, I was kind of a major dumbass because I kind of didn't consider where the heck my customs fees were going to. Like, I knew they were going to the border or whatever, but I only just realized now that they go to the Canadian government just like my regular taxes would. So alright, whatever. They're no problem. It's fine. It's fine. It's just like paying normal taxes on clothes. It's fine. So recently I learned that Japan and Canada actually do have a free trade agreement on textiles, but because most Jirai Kei clothing brands manufacture all their clothing in China, that free trade agreement means nothing to me. Anyways, catch me in my next video where I discuss dropping the duties on Jirai Kei clothes with my good friends Prime Minister Carney and President Xi Jinping. So you got shipping, you got duties, you got customs. You might as well just cut out the middleman and head on to Japan. But oh, just because you're visiting Japan doesn't mean you're free from the clutches of your local government. Oh no. Here in Canada, you get an $800 purchasing limit for if you travel outside of the country for 7 days. And I know what you're thinking. $800, that's a lot of money. There's no way you're gonna spend over that. But it's surprisingly little once you go to Harajuku and you see all those beautiful clothes in front of you. Then all of a sudden, $800? Gone in a day. So yeah, last time I went to Japan, I went over the limit, like a significant amount over the limit. In my opinion. And personally, I don't want to be in the Pearson airport any longer than I have to, so I gathered up all my receipts, calculated everything just down to like the decimal of yen, so I knew exactly how much I was over the limit. I was prepared to pay the respective taxes on it, and when I was asked to declare my goods, I told the woman openly and honestly I bought a lot of clothes and makeup, and then she just let me go. Don't know what that was about, but hey, a win's a win. But back to buying online. With how unpredictable Japanese free sizes are, you just gotta pick a god and pray at this point. Whether it be because you're too thick, too strong, too tall, too small, you gotta know those measurements off the dome and ready to go. Oh, and if your feet are above a US size 8, ladies, good luck finding shoes. In Canada, every time I go shopping to like a major shoe retailer, I always have the problem with the shoes are too damn wide. And then I get to Japan and they're too damn skinny. I tried every freaking ladies shoe in Acro Tokyo and none of them fit me. The winner was a men's Yosuke tied to the absolute tightest because I stand at a mighty 5'6". However, they were the coolest, so it all worked out. Of course, the small shoe size is due to the fact that over there, the average lady's height is about 5'2". So, proportionally speaking, it all works out. Different market, different proportions. As for the clothes itself, actually, I've had probably more success on average in Japan than in Canada due to the godsend that is the elastic waistband on most free size clothing. Why this isn't adapted everywhere is beyond me. But there is the issue of Japanese clothes not really being all that size inclusive or even that inclusive to different types of bodies. And always remember, it's not your job to fit the clothes, it's the clothes' job to fit you. If they don't, that's bad UX and someone's gotta read those damn heuristics again, and God help them. But yeah, to sum it up, buying Jirai clothes overseas is a major pain, and I really wish it wasn't so needlessly annoying and expensive. However, the benefit to that is that I've become a complete stoic when shopping in Canadian malls. I no longer yearn for Aritzia unless it's on sale. Designer goods? No thanks. I got my refuremu and amylage. Number 2. Not being around any cute Jirai-ish places. A popular aspect of Jirai Kei is going to cute places like cafes, arcades, events, and concerts, and generally living large and having fun. With its origins in the ever wild and exciting Shinjuku, there's always something fun to do and a cute place to be. But what's a girl to do in freaking Canada? Post up in front of Fred Raper Park or raggedy-ass Falls in New Brunswick? Alright, we do have some cute places here and there, and once in a blue moon we get some cool concerts and events, but I gotta commute through God knows how much traffic. Or if I take the train or bus, realistically I get like 2 hours max at a given place, because our city-to-city transit is absolute dog water. I don't want to have the typical guy goes to Japan and becomes obsessed with trains take. But hey, I'm a simple gal. You show me how much economic power and mental stability is lost because of traffic congestion, and you give me a good, viable solution, yeah, I'm not gonna shut up about it. Jokes aside, you can find some nice places in the GTA to take some cute pictures if you search hard enough. We just have a bit of a different aesthetic. But what can you do if you have no cute Jirai-ish places to go to? Well, you can just bring the vibes with you, I guess. Who says demolishing a shawarma in an industrial strip mall isn't aesthetic enough? And if you need help picturing it, just take a look at onnovelvet's art of Jirai Kei girls in everyday places. What I'm saying is, you gotta make the most of the hand you're dealt. Number 3. It's lonely. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't really see that many other Jirai Kei wearers in public. A lot of iconic Jirai Kei posts come from the form of people posing with their friends in different places and gathering together. And looking at this is cool, but damn, I ain't got no Jirai Kei friends. But personally, I don't get that beat up about this because my friends are the people that I love most in my life, and no one can replace them. My friends accept me for who I am because, well, they're my friends, and yeah, it's lonely in the sense that I don't have an entourage of people that dress like me around me, but whatever. Come to think of it, the only time I've actually interacted with other Jirai Kei wearers is just like the shop staff at my favorite stores, and that doesn't really count. I don't have too much to say about that, but they're super chill, lovely, great at their job. Yeah, what else can you say about a stranger you don't know? At the aforementioned Toronto Baby Metal concert, I saw a girl with the Mars top with the crosses on the collar, so potential Jirai Kei wearer spotted. And when I was riding the GO train one time, I saw another person definitely wearing Jirai Kei, however, they're also definitely a child, so why would I talk to them? The last person I saw was but for a brief moment at a Japanese cultural festival in Mississauga. Other Jirai Kei folk are out there, you just gotta get out there to find them. Number 4. Society. Although I usually have good experiences wearing Jirai Kei IRL, there are a few that stick out in my head as, ooh, awkward. Like, depending on the place I visit, for my own personal safety, I choose not to wear it. Like, for example, I was in a Tim Hortons in Hanover, Ontario, just on the way back from a long drive, and outside the Tim's was a fear and hunger enemy-looking dude standing outside the door that glared me down. And when I went into the Tim's and was waiting in line, I glanced back, and the dude was still staring at me. Creepiest interaction I've had with a person almost in my life ever. For the record, my outfit wasn't even that crazy. I had on a Dimoire headband, a Niagara Falls sweater, a refuremu skirt, and then some like knee-high socks with Converse, not even my crazy Yosuke's. So why? Why are you looking at me? In case you didn't know, all Hanover has is like a horse track, a casino, a pay-by-the-hour motel, and that's about it. So at the very least, the guy was a gambling degenerate. But I don't know. Weird vibes over in Hanover. Would not recommend. The reality is, I gotta be mindful what I wear, even though it's generally safe in Ontario. Especially when it comes to shoes, because if I gotta run or drive, I'm not doing it in Yosuke's. And short, frilly skirts. Really popular in Jirai Kei, but really not so popular in, well, any other form of fashion that's mainstream. Except for bubble skirts, I guess. But those just seem like a flavor of the month kind of trend. Anyways, if you wear any kind of Jirai Kei skirt, just be prepared for people to look at you. But why? Why? Well, I know the answer. It comes down to culture, climate, social norms, and, you know, I can wear like a short tight skirt and nobody bats an eye. But all of a sudden, when it gets frilly, when it gets too cute, that's a bridge too far. But I don't know. I guess it goes back to the idea that adult women can't wear anything too cute or else it's too weird. Like you turn 18 and all of a sudden you're supposed to morph into a sexy girl boss. Like yeah, I am. But majority of the time, I just want to chill out in my Emelage. Is that so bad? My girl Pigarin is 30 and this is what she looks like. And this is Dua Lipa who's 29 and that's what she looks like. And both of these are great. Why can't we have both? And I can't end this section without talking about this weird high school bully ass vitriol towards people who wear alternative clothing. Like, sure, I've never really experienced this in any kind of significant way, but I know in other conservative parts of the world, this is almost a regular kind of expected reaction when you wear alternative clothes. I know that in a lot of places, they're on a pendulum swing of general intolerance at the moment, which makes it difficult for people to be themselves. I saw this video by Drama Queen, and my first thought was, thank God I don't use TikTok. And also, are these people just so bored and starved for attention that they gotta cosplay as and make fun of a group of people that they think are weird and icky? Isn't it more cringe to be like obsessed with a person that doesn't even know you exist? I mean, a lot of these people look like children, so I'm not gonna get too pressed about it, but this general kinda, you know, normalized intolerance is probably not gonna serve them well in their adulthood. And who knows? Maybe one day these people will join an alternative subculture themselves and they're just kind of like projecting their insecurities at the moment. But as Qween said in her video, it is the unfortunate reality that alternative people are often the subject of the ire of the Normans, with that ire manifesting in filming without permission, unsolicited comments, and in extreme cases, life-threatening violence. But when it comes to Jirai Kei, since it's less recognizable of, say, emo or trad goth, it's difficult to say how mainstream people would react. I've been extremely lucky to live in a place that really doesn't care about Jirai Kei and then travel to a place where it originated, so it's not really that big of a deal. So an image of the worst seems to elude me a bit. So please, if you don't mind sharing, what's wearing Jirai Kei like for you? Rounding out to the final section, it's contact lens issues. Cosmetic color contacts really aren't that popular where I'm at, but back in 2020, I wanted them. And I'd do anything to get my filthy hands on them. And what did that result in? A lot of money wasted and damaged eyes. Because guess what? I have severe astigmatism and most color contact lenses do not accommodate. But I didn't know that back then. But in order to buy any kind of contact lens, you need to know your prescription, your base curve, your axis. Do you know all of those? If you don't buy contact lenses online. And especially do not touch any color contact lens from freaking AliExpress, Temu, or Shein. Well, unless you want to permanently alter your vision for the worse, then go ahead, I guess. You know, no cute photo is worth messing up your vision for life. Trust me. I know it is tempting to want to have those beautiful doll-like eyes, especially if you're like me. I got the Alexa Demi stare, except if she played 400 hours of Monster Hunter, so I look pissed off and tired all the time. And those cute lenses would really brighten up my look. Well, yeah, the majority of people are probably blessed with decent vision that can fit into standard sizes of contact lenses, but, you know, this kind of hyperfixation on wearing lenses in order to have proper makeup is meaningless, let's be honest. I don't know, maybe I'm just butthurt that my vision sucks and I'm just lashing out. But seriously, if you can't get your hands on colored contacts, just like go into Photoshop or something and just draw them on. No one's gonna notice. There's no need to be a slave to the imaginary Jirai Kei panopticon of purists, especially when you're just a normal person who enjoys the fashion and subculture. I feel like everyone's got a story about colored contact lenses that participates in any kind of J fashion. But unlike Japan, I think most places don't have this existing infrastructure of colored contacts that are safe, easily accessible, and high quality. You know, one day I really do want to get some proper astigmatism-colored contacts, but for the moment, I don't want to risk anything. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about my experiences wearing Jirai Kei clothes in Canada. Of course, I didn't touch on the dark side of Jirai Kei or whatever people like to clickbait because 1, I joke around about my crappy mental health as a coping mechanism, and 2, Mr. YouTube doesn't really like that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to grow my channel here. Anyways, what's it like wearing Jirai Kei in your country? Let me know in the comments below. And that's it for today. See ya!